viewing. My name's Summer May Finlay. I'm here at the CRE, which is the Centre for Research Excellence on Integrated Quality Improvement. And I'm here with Shanthi. We're just going to have a chat about the project that you're doing. Could you introduce yourself for me?
Yep. So I'm Shanthi and I work at the Hunter Medical Research Institute in Newcastle, but I'm actually employed by the CRE to do what's called an impact evaluation. For those of you who don't understand, it's basically trying to understand what society gets and what returns we get and what impact research actually has. So traditionally we've always looked at, the number of research articles that people put out and the number of, citations, but that doesn't really tell us what the research achieved. And so my work is really to try and tease out what the CRE has contributed in terms of all the investment we've made into research into Indigenous health. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm actually looking at the impact of this CRE. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar, but Australia spends $5.9 billion on health and medical research a year. $5.9 billion. Now that money can go into health services, can go into other areas of health. Why are we spending on this research and what are we getting for it is what we're trying to do with research impact.
So when you look at impact, what kind of things are you actually looking at?
So we're trying to look at what change has happened to, for instance, policy and health policy. We're looking at change that has happened to practice, so where an actual health service has made some changes as a result of being involved in this research. And most importantly, we want to know what the community benefits are. So if it has actually improved community health outcomes.
Wow.
So that's what we try to track. It's not just the products and the outputs and productivity of research. It's actually, has it really made a difference at the core face? So all health research should be about improving people's lives and health and well-being.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
That's what you would hope so. The thing is, no one's actually done that work before.
Okay, so how do you do that? Because that sounds quite complicated.
Yeah. So we apply a particular, there's lots of different ways you can do that. We apply a particular framework called FATE, which is an acronym for a framework to assess the impact of translational health research.
Lots of acronyms in health, isn't there?
Yes, there is. So what we do is we use three different methods. One is where we actually look at metrics where we can quantify something. So we can say 20% of health services now provide follow-up care for someone that's been identified as having high blood pressure, as an example. The second method we use is what we call an economic analysis. So we look at how much was spent on the research, how much is spent by health services to do the research, and then can we quantify those improvements in health?
Okay.
So if someone can be diagnosed with rheumatic heart disease and get the treatment, that means that their level of disability is reduced, their productivity, they can go back to work, and so you can measure all of those things and you can look at the returns you get for that investment.
Right, so looking at the cost saving and also maybe with early intervention versus if you don't catch it, the cost on the health.
Exactly. And the third thing we do, so FATE has got three different components, so the metrics, the economics, and the third bit is what we call the narrative of a case study and the story. And that is where people tell us the difference that research has made.
Fantastic.
And it helps us. There's things that we cannot quantify. There's things that we cannot put dollar values on. And those are the things we try and bring up through that narrative process. So we interview people and understand the difference it has made to their lives. So
fantastic.
That's how we do it.
Okay, is there anything else you want to share about the project before?
No, just to say that while this is all about looking at the impact, it also helps us to then look at how we spend research funding. So if we realize that spending funding on primary care or health promotion actually has bigger returns sometimes than the other pointy end where things are already. So if you can hold something, basically it helps us to think very critically about how we spend our research dollar, the things we fund. And I think that is a really useful thing. So it's not just about making people accountable, but it's giving policymakers and funders ammunition and more data and information on which to base those decisions about where we put our research dollar.
Yeah, a lot of money is spent on the tertiary sector, and if we're actually working in the primary sector, reducing unnecessary hospitalisations. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.